I'd like to show you a demonstration of the Kansas Department of Transportation's Airspace Analysis Tool. Now, following the link that I've provided on my blog, you'll arrive at this website usage, the end user agreement. Clicking I agree and then continue takes you into an interface very, very similar to Google Earth. The following page is loaded upon clicking on the end user agreement page. The map inset shows the area of Kansas that is being represented by the larger image in the background. Obviously, the similar tools as to what you're used to applying in Google Earth to view objects there. What I was going to do first was try and visualize and see where our turbine is for the Eudora High School wind turbine installation, and show where it falls and show some of the interface that we're able to apply using this airspace analysis tool. Now, referring back to the map inset, you see what part of the state I'm referring to. Here, Eudora falls somewhere between Lawrence and the Olathe area, right on K10. Along with minimizing the map inset, I've also activated the 3D buildings, the obstructions, Part 77 airspace, and the TERPS surfaces go along with an automatic guidance landing or instrument guided landings into any of the airspace that leads up to a public use airport in the state of Kansas. Almost like an autopilot system. As I zoom in closer and closer to the Eudora area, you start seeing some of the wedges that appear for the final approach or the descent into a particular airport within the state. Like here's Lawrence Municipal Airport in the city of Lawrence. By then navigating with the view eye within Google Earth, I'm able to essentially tip the map and give some perspective to what we're doing here. Happens better if I zoom in close. It leans the surface down a little bit more. You start developing the idea for the wedges that are going into place here. Tip back. There, look out towards the horizon. There's my Of Mice and Men reference, I guess. Look out there towards the horizon, George. Lenny. But there's the final descent into Lawrence Municipal Airport. As I then navigate a little bit closer towards the city of Eudora, you can zoom closer down here and start seeing the idea of the football field within our Eudora High School campus and the location for our wind turbine where it actually sits. You start seeing the wedges that lead up to that with the TERPS surface that I mentioned earlier, as well as the 77 airspace, and where the safe regions are, as well as where additional requirements would be mandated by FAA regulations. But as it sits for right now, I'm going to zoom in closer to our high school campus over here and actually superimpose an avatar for the turbine which we have installed in October of 2011. You start seeing the shadow of it down here in the bottom left hand. Actually, I've centered it up now. But some of the tools across the toolbar here allow us to add or superimpose a structure. And I'm going to superimpose a windmill. And what we've named her is Windy. And I'm able to specify what its height is, or what its proposed height would be. And then just drop it in the location. And she sits right there. It gives us a nice scale representation for what's going on with that structure. And along with that, even though the shadow might lie, depending on the time of day that the satellite image was constructed, having a football field adjacent to it gives us a nice reference where we don't necessarily need a scale on a map and seeing what those are. Because if I need to have a city ordinance that specifies having 110% of its overall height in all directions, it's easy for me to measure 110% of that height and refer it to a specific yard line on that football field. The other item that I wanted to refer to was actually searching for a specific item. You can refer to a specific airport ID or even go to a wind farm within the state of Kansas. And I wanted to show this mainly because of the avatars that exist within those. And seeing the avatars that line up within the existing wind farm in the state of Kansas, you can see where the benefit of this lies in helping a wind energy developer in composing or proposing additional sites for their wind farms. Because as you look towards the west of Montezuma and starting to see where these wedges line up for the adjacent airport and the airspace that exists with it, you understand the importance of why building turbines or anything of excessive height. Like there's an example right there, 304-foot tower, I believe is a cell phone tower if I remember correctly. But it allows us to see the adjacent items and how that might impede upon existing air structure within the state of Kansas, as well as documented heights for existing structures that are already within a database that have met prior approval. Those are the examples that I wanted to show you with the Airspace Analysis Tool. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please post something in the comments on my blog, and have a good day.